Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're opening up a topic that is really crucial, maybe even life-saving, if you share your space with a cat.
Mm.
We're talking about understanding insecticide toxicity.
Yeah, and these aren't just some obscure chemicals, are they?
Not at all. We mean incredibly common, everyday household things, pet products.
Stuff you probably have under your sink right now.
Exactly. And they can become a critical, sudden emergency for your cat.
That's right. So our mission in this deep dive, it's really aimed at you, the learner.
Okay.
We're pulling together expert sources on insecticide exposure, trying to get past all the confusing chemical names.
Right. Cut through the jargon.
We need to help you spot the immediate dangers, understand the symptoms, and really grasp the vital differences in how we treat poisoning from two major types of insecticides.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We're starting with something that, well, some might think of as a historical issue, but our sources show it's definitely still a persistent threat.
Chlorinated hydrocarbons, CHs.
CHs, yeah. When most people hear that, they probably think of DDT, right?
Right.
The classic example that got banned mostly because it just stuck around in the environment forever.
Massive environmental persistence.
So if DDT is mostly gone, why are we spending time on chlorinated hydrocarbons now? That's a fair question.
It is, and the danger remains because, well, the class of chemicals is still active. You've got compounds like lindane, methoxychlor.
Okay.
They're still under that CH umbrella.
Yeah.
And they are currently approved for use, around livestock, sometimes in agriculture.
Which means they're still out there.
They're still cycling through the environment, absolutely. And they can definitely still find their way into a home or where a pet might encounter them.
And if a cat does encounter a CH, the way it causes harm is, well, frighteningly efficient, it sounds like.
Oh, it's swift
Ugh.
and devastating. The literature is crystal clear on this. CHs are extremely toxic to cats.
How do they get exposed?
They can inhale them easily, and crucially, they absorb readily right through the skin.
Just skin contact.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And toxicity isn't just about one massive dose either. It can happen from repeated smaller exposures that just, stack up over time.
So if a cat owner even suspects exposure,
Yeah.
maybe they track something in or the cat found an old container somewhere,
Yeah.
what are the immediate physical signs? What should you look for?
Okay, the symptoms come on fast, they get progressively worse, and they really center on the nervous system.
Okay.
The very first signs are often hyperexcitability,
Yeah.
maybe some muscle twitching, frequently starting around the face.
Facial twitching. Got it.
Then you see muscle tremors kick in. They usually start at the head and then just sort of march backward, involving the neck, the shoulders, the body, the rear legs.
Oh, it spreads.
It really does. If you see it, it almost looks like an electric current is running through the animal. That's how fast the neural impact is.
That progression sounds like it leads to, well, total system failure pretty quickly.
Unfortunately, yes. It progresses to severe seizures, convulsions,
Oh, wow.
and ultimately that leads to respiratory paralysis and death. It's why CH exposure is considered such an extreme rapid onset emergency.
Which brings us to the really tough part about treating it.
Yeah.
If you manage to get the cat to the clinic
Mhm.
in time, the sources point out a fundamental kind of scary limitation.
Yeah, this is the critical point. We have a massive limitation here. There is no specific antidote for chlorinated hydrocarbon toxicity.
Dang.
Zero, none exists. So it forces the veterinary team into a purely defensive strategy.
Just trying to manage things.
Exactly. Treatment is purely supportive care. That means thorough bathing to get any remaining stuff off the skin, life support in the hospital, trying to remove ingested poison with, say, gastric lavage or activated charcoal,
Okay.
and crucially, trying to control those seizures. Rapid supportive care is literally the only defense we have.
So with CHs, it's all about playing catch up with supportive care because there's no magic bullet. That makes me wonder about the other big group we need to talk about.
Right.
Pyrethrins and the synthetic pyrethroids, the PMPs. These are much more common now, right? This is the problem people are more likely to run into today.
It really is the modern trap. PMPs are put into a huge range of common products. Shampoos, dusts, sprays, flea dips, foggers.
All sorts of things.
Yeah, loads of them. And the reason is they are generally considered much safer than the older insecticides, especially for dogs and for humans.
Okay. Safer for dogs and humans.
Which led to them becoming basically the industry standard for a lot of applications.
And this is where we hit that absolute critical, like, aha moment for anyone who owns a cat. Because this group of chemicals is definitely not universally safe for cats.
Precisely. And this distinction, it's paramount. The names sound almost identical, pyrethrin, pyrethroid, but the difference can literally be life and death for a cat.
Okay, break that down.
Only the natural pyrethrins, the ones derived from chrysanthemum flowers, are generally considered safe for cats.
Generally safe.
Generally, but even that comes with a big but. Many common over-the-counter topical flea products use pretty high concentrations of even natural pyrethrins. And those can still cause problems if they're not applied exactly right or if the cat is sensitive.
Okay, so natural pyrethrins, potentially tricky in high doses or if misused, but the synthetic versions, the pyrethroids, that's the real danger zone.
They are absolutely not safe for cats. Full stop.
Hmm.
The synthetic pyrethroids are concentrated chemicals and cats. Well, they lack a specific enzyme pathway in their liver.
The glucuronidase pathway.
That's the one. They don't have enough of it to properly break down and get rid of these synthetic compounds safely.
So it just builds up.
It results in a profound, rapid, toxic buildup in their system.
If someone listening had to remember just one name from that synthetic list, like the most common one to watch out for on ingredient labels.
That would almost certainly be permethrin.
Permethrin. Okay.
But really, you need to be aware of all of them. Allothrin, fenvalerate, resmethrin, sumthrin, they're also common. But permethrin is the one you see most often, especially in products made specifically for dogs.
And that connects directly to maybe the most insidious way cats get poisoned by these.
Yeah.
It's not always because someone put the product on the cat, right?
This is such a devastating risk, and it happens way too often because the difference in tolerance between dogs and cats is so huge.
Right.
Dogs can wear these topical spot-on treatments containing synthetic pyrethroids, like permethrin, quite safely.
But the cat.
But cats have been poisoned just by, say, curling up and sleeping next to a dog that was recently treated,
Oh, no.
or by licking and grooming the treated dog's fur. This kind of secondary accidental contact is a major reason cats end up in the emergency clinic with this toxicity.
That's heartbreaking. So what are the signs of this type of poisoning, the pyrethroid toxicity, which, as you said, often comes from that accidental contact?
Okay, for PMP toxicity, you want to look for things like drooling, depression, or lethargy, really severe muscle tremors.
Similar tremors to the CHs.
Similar, yes, but the underlying cause and treatment options are different. Also, staggering, vomiting, and rapid, maybe labored breathing.
Okay.
And it's also really crucial to check their temperature. Hyperthermia, a high body temperature, is a common and dangerous symptom, particularly with permethrin poisoning.
High temperature, too. Got it.
Oh, and one more thing. If the cat somehow got exposed to an organophosphate product at the same time, that makes the pyrethroid toxicity even worse. It compounds it.
Right. Okay. Given how widespread these PMP products are, let's pivot hard to the emergency response.
Right.
If you suspect exposure, maybe they ate it, maybe it got on their fur, what are the immediate first steps?
Okay, crucial distinction here. If you think the cat ingested the product, you absolutely must call your veterinarian immediately for guidance.
Don't guess.
Do not guess. If they advise it, you might need to induce vomiting, but only within about 2 hours of ingestion. And there's that huge exception.
The petroleum distillate one.
Exactly. You do not induce vomiting if the product label mentions it contains a petroleum distillate.
And remind us why that's so critical. What's the danger there?
The risk is aspiration pneumonia. Petroleum distillates things like kerosene, mineral spirits. They are incredibly irritating if they get into the lungs.
Okay.
If the cat vomits that stuff up, they can easily inhale some of it on the way. That causes a severe, very rapid, and potentially fatal chemical pneumonia.
Wow. So in that specific case,
In that case, you leave the poison in the stomach, don't induce vomiting, and get straight to the vet clinic for specialized care, like gastric lavage under controlled conditions.
that context is everything. Okay, so what if any of those signs of toxicity, we talked about the tremors, the staggering, maybe the high temperature, are already showing?
Then you skip all at-home first aid. Don't try to induce vomiting. Don't waste time. Proceed immediately to the veterinary clinic. Time is absolutely your most critical factor.
Okay. Now, for topical exposure, say the cat walked through something sprayed, or like you said, snuggled with the treated dog. The immediate life-saving step is bathing, but it has to be done very specifically.
Yes, this protocol is super specific, and parts of it might seem counterintuitive. You have to bathe the cat in lukewarm water. The sources are really emphatic about the temperature.
Lukewarm. Not hot, not cold.
Yeah.
Why that specific temperature? My first instinct, if a cat is maybe going into shock or feels cold, would be to use warm water.
And that's a totally understandable instinct. But it's dangerous here. Hot water actually increases blood flow to the skin,
Oh, right.
which basically speeds up the absorption of any poison still on the fur or skin right into the cat's bloodstream.
Making it worse.
Exactly. And water that's too cold risks hypothermia, which also makes the toxicity worse. So lukewarm is that neutral sweet spot.
Got it. Lukewarm water. What kind of soap do we use to get the chemicals off effectively?
The recommendation is usually Dawn dishwashing soap.
Mm.
The blue kind is famous for cutting grease and oils effectively, or a very gentle feline shampoo.
Okay.
And here's another really key detail. Explicitly do not use a flea shampoo.
Right. Don't add more insecticide.
Exactly. Then rinse really, really thoroughly, get all the soap and residue off, and the final crucial step, keep the cat warm after the bath. Towel dry gently, use blankets.
Okay. We mentioned hyperthermia, the high body temp, being a risk, especially with permethrin. If you notice the cat is obviously hot, panting hard, what should an owner do immediately?
Yeah, if you see clear signs of hyperthermia, you need to try and cool the cat down right away, even before transport, if possible. Use methods similar to treating heat stroke.
Like what?
Think cool, not icy, water. You can use towels soaked in room temperature water applied to their paws, groin, and underarm areas. Maybe point a fan towards them, but not directly blasting cold air.
Okay, gentle cooling.
The goal is just to stabilize their core temperature a bit before rushing them to the vet, as severe hyperthermia itself is life-threatening.
Makes sense. So once they do get to the vet clinic, what specific treatments are available for pyrethroid toxicity that just weren't on the table for the chlorinated hydrocarbons? Is there anything better than just supportive care?
Yes, this is where the approach really shifts. unlike with CHs, where we're purely playing defense.
Right.
We do have a specific drug that works quite well for the tremors caused by pyrethroid poisoning, methocarbamol.
Methocarbamol. Okay.
It's a muscle relaxant, and it can be given to help control those severe muscle spasms and tremors.
That's a big difference.
It is. And it's also important to note, interestingly, that diazepam, Valium, which is often used for other types of seizures, it's usually not very effective for these specific pyrethroid-induced tremors. So methocarbamol is really key.
Good to know. What else?
Fluid therapy like IV fluids is also highly recommended. It helps support their circulation, protects the kidneys, and helps flush the toxins out of their system faster.
So just to sum that up, for chlorinated hydrocarbons, the vet is pretty much stuck with supportive care only. No antidote.
Correct. Defense only.
But for pyrethroids, while still serious, they at least have an offensive tool in methocarbamol to fight the tremors, plus the fluids.
Exactly. That distinction is incredibly important for the treatment plan and, frankly, the prognosis. Knowing which toxin you're dealing with changes the whole clinical approach.
Absolutely critical difference. Okay, we've covered the science, the scary symptoms, the emergency actions. Let's wrap up with prevention. Because the source material points to one single overarching reason why most of these poisonings tragically happen.
Yes, and this is where we need to be really direct. The observation in the literature, it's pretty stark.
What is it?
Most cases of insecticide poisoning in cats happen simply because flea and tick control products are not applied properly.
Just user error.
Often, yes. Or using a product meant for a dog on a cat. Or just not following the instructions down to the letter.
It's almost depressing, isn't it? That the root cause of so many frantic emergency vet visits is just basic application mistakes. Or maybe misreading a label.
It is. It feels like an easy fix, but clearly it's something we're collectively failing at sometimes.
So what does this all boil down to for you, the listener? Let's make this super clear. We need 3 non-negotiable rules for using any kind of insecticide product around cats.
Okay. Rule number 1. Read and follow all the instructions and dosage requirements meticulously. Every single time. Don't assume you remember from last time.
Right.
Rule number 2. Only ever use products that are specifically approved for cats on your cat. Never, ever assume that just using a smaller dose of a dog product will be okay.
It won't be.
It almost certainly won't be safe. And the big one, the one that leads to those awful accidental poisonings we discussed. Rule number 3. Never use a product made for dogs on a cat. And just as importantly, make sure your treated dog is kept separate from your cat for the full time period specified on the dog product's label. That difference in their physiology, especially regarding those synthetic pyrethroids, it is literally life or death.
Wow. Okay, this deep dive, it's really highlighted the whole range of dangers, hasn't it? From those older, highly lethal chlorinated hydrocarbons where the only option is supportive defense, to the much more common kind of subtle danger of synthetic pyrethroids like permethrin, which are often hiding in plain sight in products for other pets.
Right. And that really raises an important final thought for you to consider, doesn't it?
What's that?
Given how easily a cat can be poisoned just by, cuddling up with the family dog after it's had its flea treatment, how often do we really read the fine print on products intended for our other household pets?
Probably not often enough.
Exactly. That simple moment of secondary contact where the cat grooming the dog's fur or sharing a bed can turn a widely used, generally accepted product into a critical emergency for the cat. It just hammers home that prevention isn't only about what you put on your cat.
Right.
It's about understanding everything you bring into the house for any pet and knowing exactly what chemicals they might all be sharing space with. Reading those labels is key.